Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host and game master, Ian Duncan. My pronouns are he, him, and I am joined by some incredible friends and players. Firstly, please welcome Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello, I am Jamie, she, her, and I will be playing Ello, the modified medical droid, they, them.
Also joining us, please welcome Alex Herrera.
Hello, I'm Alex. He, him. I play Beegax, also he, him, the Doug Slicer. And it's great to be back. And I'm looking forward to tearing apart my own vocal cords today.
Oh, just get some ice chips.
Ice
there
chips?
You go.
Just
what
are ice
suck on
chips?
A bunch.
Are those like the thin ice cubes?
Yeah.
How do you get those? Yeah, my fridge don't make those.
Just get ice cubes and put them in the blender for like a second.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's some 4D shit right there.
Yeah, you got margarita without any
exactly.
of the good
any
stuff.
Any of the fun stuff.
No, you might as well make it at that point. You might as well actually make it.
Well, if I'm blending the ice.
One step away, yeah.
It's all about the important stuff. Mm-hmm. It's all about the stuff that makes us feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of stuff that makes us feel good, let's jump right in. What do you say?
Let's
get
go.
into it. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 45, Swallowed. The crew of the Way and the Horizon Boys have unearthed the beaming beacon from an ancient temple that marks an unknown location somewhere on the planet Lahan. What it points to and where it leads is anyone's guess, as even the details of their discoveries remain closely guarded by the Rhodian diplomat Yomance Vale. But secrets must be kept to keep this ancient mystery out of the hands of the ever-growing Empire, whose hunger for power and resources threatens to devour the entirety of the galaxy.
We need to roll the destiny roll.
Were you able to ask Twitter? Did you? I didn't see it. So I don't know.
Nope. And we don't have a response from the Wills of the Force because I forgot.
Good. That's the Wills wanted it so. 2 light side, baby.
Hell yeah.
2 light side. All right.
I got 1 dark side.
As it should be.
I also got 1 dark side.
Oh wow,
so.
Split even.
Split even. It's the balance of the Force, and that's what we're hoping to achieve, right? Just balance. Just balance is good.
I'm all about that. That's my mantra for 2022. Just balance it out.
Also, that was Thanos' mantra too, by the way. Just letting you guys know.
Oh, okay. Perfectly balanced.
Jamie.
Yeah, except his whole thing was like, I know how to balance it. Genocide. Why didn't he just make more resources?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That would have also balanced.
You have this freaking gauntlet of immense power.
Yeah. Just like more
Just
corn,
make more
everyone,
food.
or whatever.
Yeah. Every planet now produces twice the number of resources.
Right? Oh, what's that? We need more planets?
I get, yeah. I guess for him, it was more about draconian efficiency, if you really think about it, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like, what's something I can do once I don't have to do again?
Yeah.
And it's like, so he's lazy.
Yeah. I want to retire after this one thing.
I want to do.
Yeah, and he did, and look what happened.
You guys got his ass beat in retirement. That's funny.
Our camera pans down onto the verdant ancient world of Lahan. Or, as it was once known long ago, Rakata Prime. Our view follows an enormous statue of a native Rakatan, bulbous eyes on stalks, protruding from a oblong head that stare out across the oceans and islands of this world, emitting a beam of light that shines off into the horizon. Below, at the base, as we follow our camera down, at the base of this enormous statue, emerge several beings, climbing down vine-covered steps that lead to this temple that this statue guards. There's a whole party of people and pirates and politicians, and of course, our fearless fringers. The Horizon Boys, as we know them to be called, are loudly slapping each other on the back and guffawing and high-fiving and celebrating. And then followed, closely behind, we see a droid. And Jamie, why don't you give us a short description of LO and what maybe LO is doing or thinking in this moment?
LO is a droid, though not necessarily your everyday droid. LO sticks out a bit because they have a sort of amalgamation of parts. They were DIY'd to the greatest sense. Nothing really seems to go together, but they function well enough to get around. They do look a bit worn down. There are some rusted spots here and there. Notably, you would see that they have a vest of grenades that go strapping along their chest. They also uncharacteristically have a mask on their back that they seem to just be toting around as almost a totem of sorts. I think Elo is more or less looking towards Beegax and Chai Chai, because Chai Chai just went through this whole weird tech thing, and Beegax is Elo's connection to these people. So Elo's going with the flow in that Beegax has assisted them in so many ways, finding Gur and dealing with the ship, that they're trying to return the favor. So is sort of looking towards Beegax right now.
And our camera sort of like pans over to the very Doug in question. Alex, please give us a quick description of Beegax and maybe what he's doing or thinking.
Beegax is a short and stout Doug. I would say very dark complexion, so like the dark brown almost to the gray. Whiskers, I believe some of the whiskers do have beads. We established he's got little bearded little dreads going on there, little whiskers going down. The significant thing about him is that his eyes appear to have like almost the cyberpunkish slats over them from time to time. They'll appear as if they're giving him readouts of the conditions of the environment, as well as his deck, which is over his shoulder, I believe in a kind of sling pack. I have pain dampeners, and I believe we described them as just like kind of these little enhancements on his skin, but I'd say it's hidden. It's like under the sleeve portion of the clothes he's wearing, and so on the exposed part it's less apparent, but like underneath his sleeves or like on his chest, if you were to see it, he would have like lines going from like some sort of little embedded central like plates or like consoles or something. And then he has, within the vest, he has a disruptor pistol that's right there, his golden standard. And I think Beegax at this point is thinking about what happened in the chamber and how he feels kind of dumb for believing that somebody's molecules will get scattered or altered via the ritual the machine was talking about, and really it was just the machine just needed an operator, from what I remember. It just needed someone to say, I will stand here and be the one to take the information, and then it just readies itself to be used. And so he's just kind of wallowing in that like cringe, essentially, just like, oh god.
And you see your crew sort of like gathered around you, the limited amount of crew members that you've brought with you here, Verse, Creed, and Obram. They're all sort of like looking up at the statue and the light that is beaming out from it high up above the jungle canopy of this world. And Chai Chai standing next to you is like, I don't know where that's pointing, but it seems like that's a good place to check next.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'll say, Chai, you guys, this is kind of a long shot, but you wouldn't happen to have like some kind of speeder or something?
I mean, we got our ship.
Oh, okay, so we're okay with just taking that and landing over there.
Yeah, you want to come with us? You're more than welcome to, or if you want to go on your own ship, that's okay too.
How many more plants like the ones we found are between us and where we came from?
He looks out into the verdant undergrowth where it's just like full of all kinds of like ferns and flowers and trees and things, and he just like
I mean, let me rephrase that. I don't know if you've probably seen it. There's a plant that really likes to eat other living things.
Oh, yes, yeah. I mean, I can't say for sure. But if you're feeling anxious about it, yeah, just come along with us.
I look at Obram.
You wouldn't happen to be a secret expert on alien plant life, huh?
No, I'm afraid I am not, but I would very much like to see another one in case there's more we can learn about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
This time we'll know how violent it can be, so we can observe from a safe distance. Or not.
Yeah, I mean, I'd observe it, and he motions, like, from above. Way above.
And Beegax looks to Elo and says,
I don't know why I've never asked you this, but, like, do you have odds and percentages on survival rate if we go across the jungle instead of in the ship? You don't have to give me an exact number. Just give me what your sentiment is.
Can I do that? Can Elo sort of scan and work out the chances? I know I've done that with time sort of before. Can I do it here?
Somehow? Sure. Yeah. Let's do, survival or outer rim. Either one would work.
I am going to do outer rim. Because my dice are better.
Yeah, I forgot. I think we coordinated our level ups, Jamie, I think, because a lot of our non special things are the same.
I think it's a hard check because you're checking the planet, but I'm gonna give you a blue die because you've trekked through the jungle before, so you have some experience with that. So we're gonna say 3 purples, and you can throw a blue die into that.
1 success, 1 threat.
You're able to sort of like calculate your path back to the ship and the threat assessment of what that would be very accurately. And we'll say the threat is, it's probably best you don't go that way.
Okay. Elo can immediately pick out more of these plants, scanning the environment. It's not looking good that we would have a very good chance of survival if we were to go back that way, Beegax. However, Obram, if you look just over the horizon here, and Ella will begin to point over at one of these plants that Obram wanted to look at from afar, you can see that there is, and they'll just sort of start to trail off.
Obram begins walking in that direction.
Beegax going, whoa.
But stop! Unhand me!
We're gonna take a ride. We're gonna take a ride with the Horizon boys, Obram.
He grumbles and looks unhappy.
I'm sorry, buddy. It's just I know those plants are fascinating and all, but I'd rather us be fascinated with them from the outside than be inside of them dead and unable to be fascinated, if you know what I mean.
It sounds like you want to go with the Horizon boys.
Yeah, we'll go with the Horizon boys. And then if we have comms, I'll tell who's on the ship. Gur, right? Gur's on the ship.
Gur and Rat are both left on the ship.
Yeah.
Rat. I forgot. All right, comlink turns on.
Hey, ship crew, come in.
Yes, this is Gur.
We're gonna catch a ride with with our friends we found here to wherever I don't know if you see this light from this giant statue pointing in a direction, but we're headed that way. We're gonna investigate further. We have everyone's great. I think you can leave the ship there, and eventually, if something bad happens, you come swoop us up.
Yeah, can do.
All right, stay frosty.
And then we'll just turn off the comlink.
We cut to the ship real quick, and we see Gur with like the AC on full, and it's just blowing his fur back, and he's got his feet up on the console, and him and Rat are enjoying some like drinks with umbrellas in them, and he's like, "Can do," and just like puts the com back.
Fucking Rat, bro! I swear to God, dude.
I love it.
We have Barney also. You never mentioned Barney.
That's true.
Oh, yes.
I did forget Barney in my description earlier.
Ian forgot to mention Barney. Is like, your crew is this and this person. Barney is he's a sentient creature.
Barney is there, floating around. Elo, trying to look helpful as possible.
Okay, we mount up with the Horizon Boys.
Is there anyone like I know that we probably went over the description of the boys beforehand, but is there any like race of note that it's like, oh, it's interesting to see one of these out here, you know, or anything like that when it comes to the boys?
Yeah, they're all kind of note, mostly because they're like a haphazardly crew almost, you know? Like, I mean, that's not to say that that's not uncommon, but yeah, there's just real quick, their captain is Drabotan, and he's like this gray looking alien that has a huge mouth that's really, really loud. There's Cretan, who is a big, huge basilisk. He's got 4 arms and just like a big old beefy guy. There's Tau, who is like a white furred sort of simian looking being, who's got sort of like long white eyebrows. Yoman's Vale, he's a Rhodian. You've met with plenty of Rhodians.
Ian's fucking favorite Star Wars race.
My absolute favorite. And then, of course, Chai, the Chadra fan, who's a little bat. And none of them are, like, super rare, but you can tell me, or you can maybe decide, like, if you have, like, come across these species before or anything like that.
Oh, and they have an R2 unit also. R2B3.
R2B3 it is on the ship, manning the ship, yeah.
I think to me they're all rare, I would feel like. I mean, I've been around, but I don't feel like I've seen anyone besides Chai, you know, especially working for the Empire. It was all humans. And then my little gang of the island of misfit toys that we were, the hackers or the special group, right? The outreach, the community outreach Imperial program, whatever the hell it was.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that tracks. That makes sense, especially for Beegax. I don't know if that's the same for Elo. I know Elo's been around a lot.
Yeah, I think maybe not as much as a surprise to Elo. I think what I want to do is what was the name of the? I just have a hard time keeping track of it. The big beefy race.
All the Star Wars names.
Of all the Star Wars names and planets, yeah, I have a hard time. But the big beefy race, I don't think Elo has ever seen anything quite as large. I want to say that is sentient and not like beastly.
Yeah, this one sort of like he's high-fiving and he notices Elo sort of like staring at him. He like turns around and he goes,
Problem?
Not at all. I'm just making my assessment.
He like frowns.
Noted.
You all step onto the ship and it takes off. You fly up, out, away from this, from these trees and from this temple, and follow this beam of light, and like across the planet, a far distance at, but you're able to get there. I mean, the journey at sublight speed is still brief, you know.
Yeah, I think Beegax just wants to take note of like how organized these guys are on their ship when they're like flying, and it's like. He's like, oh, let me check out what they're doing here. And he wants to see, like, oh, what does the pilot do?
Right.
Like,
what's their setup?
Yeah, what's their setup? Do they have, like, people on supporting roles? What's the overall vibe? Do they pass the vibe check? The Beegax vibe check.
The Beegax vibe check. You have the captain, obviously, piloting the ship, and he's just like, rah, 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 like shouting commands as loud as he can.
I forgot that's the guy.
Yeah, like right, and probably like right into Chai Chai's ear, who's sort of like on communications and like doing the co-piloting sort of duties, and he's like, okay, and like reading all the instruments and everything. Tao, the doctor, is just sort of like probably like getting a snack, and he's like, wow, we've had such a crazy day today. It's been real interesting. Hopefully it only gets more interesting. You want a cookie or something?
No, I'm good. I'm fine, thanks. It's like,
Yes, sir.
Beegax is thinking, that's the first time I heard this thing speak.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And he's just getting like crumbs all over the floor and in his like
Oh my God.
fur.
He's
And-
the primate looking.
You just see like our basilisk, our big guy here. I think what he's doing is he's watching LO, but trying to make it so that it's not apparent that he's watching, and then he's like flexing, like trying to like just make himself like big and flex so that however they're evaluating him that it comes out in the outcome he's hoping for.
his PE grade is an A. Is what he's trying to get.
Yes,
I love it.
100%.
I
And
love
that's kind of the vibe. It's a little bit disorganized and a little bit and definitely messy and it's all sort of like stuck together with duct tape and spit and a whole lot of hope and a prayer.
Beegax takes note of the ship, and especially of Dr. Tao, leaving crumbs all over the place, and he's just thinking like, I would not want that guy to operate on me. And I envision Beegax like turning around, like trying to head back to the cockpit, and then just bumping into the R2 droid that's just haphazardly moving around. Like, I have to look busy. And it's just like, oh, hey, sorry there, Chief.
You know that the one thing that stands out is Yomance, the Rhodian. He's he's tall and lanky, and he holds himself with a different disposition than people on this ship. He doesn't seem to like comment or look displeased. In fact, he seems very like eye on the prize, but he does sort of like hold himself with a bit more of composure than these ruffians, these pirates.
I think we made it apparent last time that he's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beegax just notes all this and then finds LO and just kind of saddles up next to them. Well, I gotta say, I've never been more happy to think about our ship and our crew. And he's keeping this kind of low, to think about our ship and our crew until this moment. But man, I gotta say, I'm glad you don't eat stuff.
Ella's gonna look over and see these crumbs just sort of accumulating, piling up onto the floor, and their flashlight eyes are going to widen in the sense that a light bulb would flash. And Ella is going to say, yes, that is quite unsanitary.
I'm just glad it's not our ship. And then he looks over and he sees the R2 unit kind of just rolling by, and he'll just comment again. Also, and I give Rat a lot of guff, but I don't think I've seen that droid do a single thing since we took off from the temple.
Was that almost a compliment, Beegax?
Almost. Not quite.
I'll make sure to let Rat know.
Nah, you don't have to tell that sack of Criff anything.
No, I'm sure he would want to know.
Just grumbles and finds a place to sit while he waits for the ship to land.
Brush some crumbs off.
Just...
Ella's gonna go clean it up. Find a dustpan or something.
The college dorm room of ships.
Yeah, that very much so. Yeah, very much so.
That probably smells horrible.
Yeah, you just see Verse Verse trying to like sit like take up as little space as possible, and she just has her nose wrinkled.
She's like somebody's friend visiting like the frat house. She's just like, ugh, we have to stop here to pick something up.
I feel like Creed is like fitting in though. He's just like, hey guys. Well, these guys are nice.
Yeah,
he's got his own cookie. He's taken the cookie offer. He's eating it. Not as bad with the crumbs. He's a little bit more of a neat boy, but
it's because we raised him right.
Probably sees Elo cleaning up and is like, oh.
You can each roll me perception checks. That's going to be 2 purple, so just an average check.
1 triumph, what a waste. 1 triumph.
Oh.
1 success, 1 threat.
I got 2 threats.
2 threats. Okay, so I mean this tracks. LO is busy cleaning trying to clean stuff up, and is get increasingly frustrated as it seems like the R2 unit is just like dragging more, like running through the mess and then dragging it more across the ship, spreading it out. But Beegax, you see, like Creed, he's just trying to clandestinely like claim the rest of the cookies. He's trying to like go behind Tao's back and make sure he's not being seen, and doing a terrible job at it, and trying to like get the rest of the cookies. He's like pulling them out.
I'm gonna run over to Tao. Excuse me, Doc.
Huh?
My normal physician, Elo, they're a little busy right now, but I was wondering, I got a kink in my back. You think you could check it out? It's been bothering me for a while.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, give me a second. Turn around, back for the Doug. That's this part, right? And he points to a part that is not at all the back. Dorsal.
Nah, you're close. You're close. That's actually on the complete opposite side of that. It's
oh, right.
Here.
Yeah, I forgot. Doug. Okay, yeah. No, come with me. Come with me to. I got a little place that I can set you down on.
Okay.
Rub this out for you.
All right, rub it out. Mm-hmm. And Beegax looks at.
Give you a Twi'lek massage.
Oh, can't wait. He looks at Creed as he's leaving the kitchen, and gives him a look like, "Hurry up." Just like,
oh, okay. So do you want to like make eye contact with Creed?
Yeah, I'm looking at Creed like I know. I look at him, look at the cookies, look at him, and I know what he's doing.
Get them cookies.
I'm acting as a distraction for him to eat the cookies, but he owes me essentially.
He sees you, yet see him, and for a minute he looks shocked, like, oh no, I've been caught. But then you see like a darkening across his face as he shoves a cookie in, and the look is more of a defiant one. Like, he just keeps eating them, and it's almost like, I don't care if you've seen me.
Oh wow, this is out of character for Creed.
Creed, bad boy.
Yeah, well, I'll just keep staring back at him because I'm an alpha. I'm an alpha Doug. Even though Creed could literally step on me. Just keep staring back at him as I walk. I assume there's like a corridor I have to walk through to get to the room, to Doc's room. So Beegax will stare at him, keep staring at Creed for a second, and then not break eye contact until after the wall passes by him.
Yeah, the door closes and we see the two of you. The door is the only thing cutting off this intense stare between you.
And my defiant crew member child.
So you get there and you see that the light is sort of like crashing down into a bunch, another sort of like large island that is a part of this world, and it breaks into the leaves and into the canopy. And as you come down, as you begin to fly over to find, looking for a good place to lay the ship down, you can see on screens and out viewports that there is a large clearing, and there is no temple here sticking up, but rather an enormous gaping hole in the ground that is shaped like a mouth of a Rakatan. In your bird's eye view, it's like you're looking down the throat of a Rakatan face that has its mouth open wide, sort of like this abyss into the earth, staring straight up into the sky. And the beam of light is illuminating this gaping mouth, and the entrance of the maw is sort of like swallowing the light as it breaks through the jungle trees. The captain, Omen, puts the ship down, and you can all get off. This is just like a big spiral staircase along the edge of this enormous mouth, this gaping maw that just goes down into the darkness. No hand railing. It's a huge OSHA violation.
This is the last level in Final Fantasy VII. This is the crater.
Yeah, it's big too. It's very big. And Yomance is like,
We have no choice but to go down.
Are you still with us?
I wouldn't have rode with you guys in the,
And he looks back at the crew, the Horizon boys, and all of them are like picking earwax, scratching their butts, doing something.
wouldn't have rode with the, diverse cast if I didn't want to see this thing all the way through.
And he looks at Elo, and he nods, right?
Yes. Yeah, Elo's gonna solemnly nod over to him.
He'll put his hand over his disruptor pistol, pull it out, have it at his side.
Okay.
Yeah, you spiral down, and it takes a little bit of time. The darkness sort of like looms up at you, and there comes a point where you move into darkness, and now like the light above you is the only illumination that sort of like shines down, and that hole, the circumference of it gets a little smaller and a little smaller as you spiral down into this mouth.
Can I turn on my flashlight eyes?
Yeah. Boom. Elo illuminates the cavernous space here as you all make your way down into this temple and into the darkness, almost like the jaws of this thing is swallowing you. But eventually you do find the bottom, and at the bottom is an entrance that looks similar to one that you encountered previously, sort of like a short hallway that looks like it had at one time a security system on it, like one that you encountered before, but there's no arcing electricity. But yeah, so it looks like the security system here is no longer active, and there is stuff that does litter the ground, though. It looks like ancient droids and bits of them that have been torn off, and then the bodies of strange alien predators on the ground. They're sort of like canine-like bodies that are decaying in this hallway entrance that leads deeper.
I am going to use my cybernetic eyes to scan these corpses and droid parts to see if there's anything club-like that I can grab.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No roll needed. There's probably like a droid strut or something you could pick up. That's something that you could use as a club or some kind of melee weapon.
Okay. I pick it up and I kind of like swing it in my hand once, just to keep it. Also as like some sort of prodding mechanism in case we need to prod something from a distance as well.
What's the protocol for this? You guys have like a scout you send forward first, or what?
Protocol is, we just kind of, we're strapped, and we got Cretan with us, and Cretan just like flexes his arm, two of his arms, and he like just like hits his heavy blaster and like cocks it or turns it on, basically. So you will be okay.
Ella's gonna go,
Noted.
That's it.
You just see like a sweat drop, just like no reaction, just sweat.
He's being evaluated.
If I may, Captain, with my crew in situations like this, we tend to, send someone who's a little more discreet or able to handle traps at first, so they can kind of scout ahead. Now, if that person's not available, then typically I'll go with a beefier candidate who won't be susceptible to injury should something attack them.
The captain looks at you, considering, like nodding, and he gets real close to your ear.
Oh no.
And very quietly, but he just goes, rah, 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 rah. And Chai puts his hand on your hand, and he says, as long as you're with us, we'll protect you.
Beegax, his whiskers kind of moving from his jaw clenching.
Thanks, I really appreciate it.
And then Beegax is just going to turn around and walk towards the fucking temple door, like, I see. He'll look at Elo like,
nodding like, come on, come on.
You see your crew kind of look at each other a little bit. They're sort of like exchanging looks. I think Creed probably looks at Elo like, what's up with him? but they follow Beegax in suit. Walking in, there's nothing to get in your way here except for the piles of corpses that litter the floor here.
Yikes. Beegax just tries not to look down. He's like, don't like this. And I will use my bionic eyes to kind of scan as we're walking past the threshold entering the temple, kind of scanning for any type of lithographs, or I guess it's another like cave, like essentially like paintings, any type of artwork or something that can help us depict what this place was, or if there's some kind of rule we should be following.
It sort of like opens up into this large room, dark, unlit, and full of pillars almost, like structurally in this area. Think sort of like Mines of Moria from Lord of the Rings, a little bit like that. It's not quite as expansive, but like pillars everywhere, and they're all of Rakatans staring down at you as you walk in to this space.
That's very nice. Makes me feel at home.
As he walks past them, looking up at their faces, the statues' faces.
Elo just waves. Hello.
Surprisingly, no response.
No response. Good. No lasers. No aliens. It's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. And you continue to make your way into the space. It's hard to tell like where it's leading because of the darkness, even with the illumination that Elo supplies. The room is big and doesn't seem to be funneling you anywhere other than just having these like statues that seem very, very old and very ancient.
Just, I guess Beegax just takes note. Like he keeps his eyes peeled in case there's anything that's out of the ordinary. I mean, we're in a temple, so the whole thing's out of the ordinary, but compared to the last one, what he can remember, like, if there's a different type of statue, if there's a different type of architecture, something that looks off in here compared to the last one, he'd probably want to investigate that. But if it's the same, then he's just going to keep walking.
Gotcha, yeah. Everyone is sort of like is tight together. The Horizon Boys have their weapons drawn, committed to keeping Yomant safe, but also the crew of the way here as everyone moves into the darkness. And with Beegax trying to remain vigilant going through here, you can give me a perception check if you would like. We'll call it average, so just 2 purple.
2 threats, 4 successes.
You hear growling, and you can hear the footsteps of something in this cavernous space. Something in the darkness begins to move, and you can see the silhouettes from the doorway behind you that you've come in. Now that you've moved into the room, that dim light that shines down from the planet's surface has become smaller and smaller. But even in the darkness, as your eyes sort of have adjusted to this room, you can see shapes on all fours, like crossing across that small bit of light. And the threats are, you realize that the way has been blocked, and you see something step into the pool of light that you are near, growling, and it is an enormous alien canine, and I need you both to roll initiative.
2 success.
1 success for Beegax.
Our initiative is going to be a PC slot, the crew of the Horizon Boys, then an NPC slot, another PC slot, and then the crew of the Way. Your crew is going last.
Damn.
Okay.
What the fuck? The slacking.
It's all them cookies.
Yeah, it's all those cookies.
Slowing Creed down. He needs to.
Oh, I'm so full.
Yeah, I wonder why, Creed.
He's in like a diabetic coma. Too much sugar. I'm tired.
No, Creed.
Let me paint the scene for you a little bit. So you hear multiple growls and multiple footsteps. You think there's probably 3 or 4 of these things in here with you, and they seem obviously aggressive. Their heads are long and angular. Imagine like the head of a dragon, sort of like a sort of a big triangular, like long and snouty and triangular, mixed with a wolf. It has very long pointed ears that go back along its body. It also has like, how reptiles like snakes and dragons, dragons aren't reptiles, but you know what I mean? They have that sort of like bit of muscle around their jaw that allows their jaw to open up really wide. They have that, and it's just like full of teeth. They have 6 eyes and these big thick necks with coarse fur, really bulky torsos that taper off. Coming off from this body are these like powerful looking feet and haunches, and their tails have these horrible spikes along them that whip around on this whip-like tail. Bodily fluids drip from their jaws.
Oh, they're hungry. Good.
Oh, is that what this is?
I see.
And it is.
I see now.
Yeah. Chai looks and he goes, "What are those?" And you have the basilisk point his rifle and he says,
Dead meat.
I like this guy. Maybe we can do like a team trade. You guys want a rat droid? I'll give you a rat droid and we take
PC slot, who wants to go? And what do you want to do?
Do you want it, Alex, or do you want me to take it?
You have grenades, so I'd rather you throw those now that we're all...
That's a really good point. I'll take it. So then, if I have a grenade that has blast 0 and instead has ensnare,
Right. Then you trigger, then
I
rather
would
than...
need that. I would like to try that with my glop grenade.
Oh, cool.
Grenade!
Let's
With
get
my-
it. Let's go.
Let's do it, lass.
Let's
I'm
do
ready.
it. Let's glow up.
All right, let's glop it. So what do I need to roll then?
You would need to roll a ranged light. Since it's at short, I think that's only a single difficulty to try and glop this thing.
3 successes, baby.
Yeah!
A glop grenade is something that I'm throwing that's gonna foam up this person, and the coordination check is to keep it from filling their breathing passage. So like I'm foaming it up to incapacitate it, but if they fail a coordination check, then they suffocate.
Damn. Let's go. Demolition Man. It's that Demolition Man stuff when the car crashes.
It's like a foam, and then I picture it as like a foam that's like exploding around this beast, and then is slowly starting to harden, sort of trapping it where it is.
Yeah, got it. And what was the level of difficulty of the check?
It's an easy coordination check, yeah.
Okay, cool. Here we go. I'm going to make that right now. That is 2 successes, 1 advantage.
Liar.
So,
Okay.
how dare you?
You're allowed to breathe, but you're still stuck.
Oh, that's very cool. So yeah, describe briefly this foam.
Elo is going to hear dead meat and is going to immediately burst into action, ripping one of these glop grenades out, pulling the pin. You start to see the foam sort of like spurt out from the top, and they're gonna throw it over towards this canine. It's going to topple and tap it in the leg, and the dog is going to sort of like look sniffed down, and it's just enveloping it in this foam, and you start to see it harden and crack, and this dog is just writhing around, sort of almost whimpering now because it is trapped and ensnared. And Elo is going to look back and just say, "It should be a bit easier to hit now."
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
What a weapon.
that's cool.
How many of those do you have left?
I have one more.
Okay, we saved that. We keep that one.
We're saving that.
Saving that one for the next bounty hunter that decides to come fuck with us.
Next is going to be the Horizon Boys crew. Cretan, the basilisk, is going to look at Elo saying this, nod his head, and just open fire on this thing. That's a hit with a whole bunch of advantages. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a critical hit. Jamie, let's call it you since you threw this goop grenade. Roll me a D100, please.
Roll a D100, 37.
Not only are they ensnared, but they have an additional difficulty die to whatever check that they have.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Okay, so first things first, it's gonna try and make this daunting check. One success and one threat, so it does break free, or does break free from the goo. But man, has it been? Did it get shot and stung? That was cool. It's gonna try and take a bite on this big basilisk here and see if it can do that. It's gonna like just come up and get right up in front and like try and bite him on the arm. 2 success, 1 advantage. So it finds purchase. It takes a big chunk out of Cretan. This next wolf is going to come up onto your crew, Creed and Verse. And Obram.
Obram is with us.
And Obram, yes.
Fuck.
I feel like Verse would have enough sense to push Obram at least out of the fray where he wouldn't be in front.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, keep him behind us. Yeah.
He'll only be in trouble if we all die.
Yeah.
So
I hope you're taking notes, Obram.
This other wolf jumps out of, this other alien jumps out of the darkness into the space of Creed and Verse, and she does push Obram out of the way. Obram, get down! And let's see. I got a triumph, baby. That's going to be a critical hit as well. Boom, boom, boom. And I should say that they're all engaged now. This wolf is engaged with these 2 groups. And there is a third one. It's going to jump out, and it is going to take a chomp at Beegax.
I mount up on some sort of stone slab that appears out of nowhere and channel my best Gimli.
Come on. There's yet one dog that breathes.
Nice. Okay, we got 2. Here we go. It's actually trying to whip you with its tail. It jumps and like spins around and hits you. No, does not hit you. That is a fail with 2 advantage. That 2 advantage is just going to give you a black die to your next roll. It just sort of like knocks you off your footing, right? And speaking of, it is to the next PC slot.
Hell yes.
Okay, well, Beegax, after getting tail whipped,
Oh, crap.
and he kind of like does like a roll, but as he rolls, he like twists his ankle. He's very unathletic. Pops up, sees Obram kind of like cowering behind Verse and Creed as they're engaged, and is going to fire his disruptor pistol at the one that was injured.
Nice, the one that was ensnared, right?
Yes, correct.
So you're firing past this one that's engaged with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I want to focus fire.
So that's going to make the difficulty just a little bit harder. So it's going to be a 2 purple.
So it's 2 purple and a black.
2 purple and a black. Yes, correct.
1 fail, 2 advantage.
So you fire and it misses. Cretan is pulling this thing with his arm and like swinging it around with his big beefy arm, so it kind of like throws your aim off and you miss. You do have 2 advantages. Is there any way that you would like to spend those?
I would like to, with the missed shot, if possible, maybe I chipped a statue and some debris. I was gonna say the debris like stops them from advancing it on one position, so we have like our backs. We can have ourselves to brace somewhere, but that won't help in the situation. So,
I like dust hitting somewhere, and even though you don't hit this wolf, like it bounces off of this pillar and makes a cloud that gets in the 6 eyes of one of this wolf. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll take that one.
Crew of the way, you see them battling versus trying to line up a shot while Creed is swinging his big ol' axe around. They miss. It is top of the round, and it is to a PC slot.
Seeing that the beast was able to break free, will now grab for their disruptor pistol, and I am going to fire at the one that is attacking Verse.
You're still in short range. You don't have anything up in your face, so that's not going to bother you. But you've had this problem before where there's like been things engaged with other party members and stuff, and it makes it more difficult to like get a clean shot. So it is going to be an additional difficulty. So that is 2 purple. You do have a blue die to this, and I'm going to flip a dark side point, and I'm going to upgrade one of those purple to a red.
Of course you will.
So you've got a red, a purple, and a blue die.
Okay. 1 success and 3 advantages.
Whoa!
That's a good roll. That's a good roll.
It is.
Top percentage outcome.
All right. Yeah, you fire true, and it hits.
Nice.
What's the damage?
It is 10. Yes, it's 10.
10 plus your additional successes, so that's 11, right? Okay, yeah, you fire this blaster. You can see fur burning off. Anything else you want to do?
No, but I hope that I have got its attention.
Oh, interesting.
And I hope Verse watches me save her.
Next is the pirate crew. They're gonna keep trying to blast this wolf here. That is a success and an advantage and a triumph. Because this is the wolf that sort of got dust in its face. Alex, why don't you go ahead and roll me that percentage die?
23.
Oh, but they've already got a wound, so that's going to be... No, that's just adds an additional...
No, it's stacking.
Yeah, so that's actually 33.
Okay.
Is what we add 10 to that.
Because he has
roll.
this is the same one that has a critical room from earlier. Oh.
Yeah. So they are staggered. Can't use actions, so that's staggered until their next turn. So they're just gonna keep clamping on and biting. This one by Verse and Creed is gonna keep attacking them and see if they can do a bite. Oh yeah, that's a big old bite, but 1 threat. Oh, Creed, he goes down. This thing chomps him hard.
No!
It bites him like right in the midsection, yeah.
So he gets reading the fucking cookie.
It's not looking good for the crew of the Way. Verse seems like she's almost being overwhelmed by this beast that is just whipping around and slashing around. Creed has fallen, and this other alien wolf is gonna take a chomp out of Beegax. It spins around, bares its jaws. So that's 2 successes, 1 threat. That's going to be 8 damage.
Oh. What?
Holy.
Remember
that's a
your
lot.
soak. Remember your soak.
So my soak is 4. Okay, so I'll take 4. Hey, now I'm getting hit just like I normally do, because looking at the other little charts I have in my notes, I take about 4 to 5 damage from blasts too, so that's pretty awesome.
And they did get a threat. What do you think that threat is, Beegax? It's not much, but...
Me.
Oh, you are the threat.
I'm
Oh,
the
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
For the theater of the mind, this thing is biting down on me currently, right? That's what it's doing.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, okay.
Chomp. Big chomp.
Got you in its mouth.
I mean, you feel its teeth like knives through your skin, and feel the wetness of your own blood and its saliva.
Delicious. Lovely descriptors.
Love it, right?
Oh.
Beegax, it's you.
Okay, well, yeah, this thing is it's biting me. I'm gonna shoot it in the mouth.
It's gonna be 2 purple.
I'm gonna flip one of the 3 points we have.
Oh, nice.
Do it.
That is 1 triumph.
Wow, nice.
1 triumph, 2 advantage.
That's awesome.
What's the damage?
My damage is 10. Features: any critical injury result are changed to crippled unless the result is more grievous.
That's right. So that's a crit, and we've got to respect that crit. So roll your percentage and add 40, actually.
Because I rolled 11, so 51.
Well, crippled is worse. So we'll
go with crippled,
We'll
yeah.
go with crippled, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
1 limb is impaired. It has a additional difficulty check to everything using that limb, and that's tough because that's how it gets around. So
Beegax, while being bit, takes his disruptor pistol, aims it at like a leg he can see clear as day, and pow, fires. And as it squeals in pain, he pushes himself backwards and starts like grabbing his upper thigh on that leg where the teeth were. He's just like, oh, just like old times.
Beegax, you hear Chai like shooting at this thing. He looks over, sees that you're injured.
Fine, Chai, keep firing. And I see Creed just like passed out, and my vision zooms in on the crumbs on his like face and maybe some on his shirt that he already rubbed off. And then I scream to Elo, we got a man down! We got a man down! Get him up!
Now it is to your crew, and Verse is gonna be like, Creed! And desperately take a shot. Everything cancels out, unfortunately. That's just one advantage. And it is to the top of the round. Now it is to the next PC slot.
So if it's engaged with Verse, then I'm just gonna shoot at the thing.
That'll be 2 purple die, and I'm gonna flip a dark side point.
Why is it only for me?
Great.
So I've got 1 red, 1 purple.
That's correct.
3 advantages, 2 failures. I have an idea for the advantages.
Yeah, please.
Can I just get the attention of this creature away from Verse so it comes towards me instead of...
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I don't know how, but...
Maybe you...
Because I fail, so I don't hit it.
Or maybe it's like a flavor hit where you shoot it in the flank and it doesn't really affect it, but it's, we just like hear the sizzle as it grazes its body and it turns to like look at the bigger threat, since Verse doesn't seem to be hitting it at all. Yes.
It turns and we see a rack focus from the wound to Elo in the foreground.
Yes. I love it. Okay, good turn. Okay, cool. Good way to turn that around. It is now the Horizon boys. And they're still wrestling with this one, but you can see Chai's taken his pistol and he is firing like his life depended on it, bolstered by Beegax's confidence in him. 1 success, 1 advantage. Oh yeah, he gets a shot off, and they're just going at it. Now it's gonna be these wolves' turn. It's going to respond in kind and try and do a tail whip at Chai here.
No, my boy, my sweet boy.
That's just 2 successes. That's gonna be enough. It clean wipes Chai out. Wow! He gets knocked across the face and he just goes spiraling into one of the pillars. Boom! This next one was previously attacking Verse, and Creed is now gonna turn its sights onto Elo. Come running up, boom, 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 on these 4 huge paws and take a running bite onto...
Tastes delicious.
Yeah. Gonna find out that probably doesn't taste delicious.
Well, they ripped apart a couple of ancient droids in the front, so
yeah,
they might have a taste for it.
Maybe
it's like their favorite chew toy.
That's a miss. So that's just 1 advantage. You definitely get out of the way, and it sort of like lands on its paws, like spins around and like snarls at you. And the last one here with Beegax, wow, failure, but 3 advantages.
Oh shit!
Or it's gonna snap its jaws at you. It's gonna turn around and run for the free meal. And it's gonna run to Chai.
He can't run. Crippled.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna have him make a check to be able to do that. We'll call that a hard athletics check. I got a triumph, man. That is my 3rd triumph.
Of course. These things are brutal.
We gotta respect that crit. So yeah, this thing, like, you can see it like push through the pain of its leg, and it's just like it's running over, and it looks like if it can, it's gonna take off with this tiny little Chadra fan. And then it is to a PC slot.
Can I move into the same spot as where it is?
Yeah, I think you can. You gotta spend, let's say you gotta take a strain to be able to get up there.
I run, I spend the maneuver to run, right? I get into position, so now I'm gonna blast them as I'm behind them.
You do have 3 light side points.
I am gonna use 1. Come on! we go. 1 success, 1 advantage.
What's the damage? Because that
10.
will be really important.
10.
Plus your 1 success, that'll do it. What does it look like when you shoot this thing?
So this thing looks at me, looks at Chai, and then ignores the pain of its damaged limb and just bolts to Chai. I think Beegax figures it out, but after some time, starts running after it as well with his twisted ankle. The creature picks up Chai in its mouth, and it's like thinking free dinner. And Beegax kind of takes a really awkward positioning and shoots, but he has like flashbacks of firing into an open crowd at the stormtrooper on the bike. And he like readies himself before firing, even though he knows he's in an awkward position, and tries his best. Fires it, I would say, in the upper back. Like maybe it pierces like some sort of artery or something that's like on the back or like inside of its like upper chest area, and it just begins to bleed out. If it has blood, bleeds out from the front and back, and then drops, putting him on the ground.
So next we have the crew of the Way, which is looking like it is just Verse at this point. That's not going to stop her. She is going to try and get an accurate blast on this thing. 1 success, 2 advantage. You hear a blaster. Get out of the way, hello! I got this! Then it is to a PC slot.
Okay, I'm actively engaged with this thing. It just tried to eat me.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
So I have to back away anyway, right? Because I'm in like close quarters.
You could, yeah. You could use a maneuver to step back from
I
it.
will do that. I'm gonna maneuver my way towards Creed.
Okay.
In that direction, but still staying engaged with this creature. Sort of like backing up, I suppose.
Okay.
I'm trying to decide though if I want to still shoot at it or if I want to just go attend to Creed. Can I look back? What sort of condition is he in right now? Is he looking pretty critical?
Yeah, no, he's down. I mean, he's like unconscious.
All right, I'm gonna run and get him.
Okay.
I'm gonna go attend to Creed. I am going to give him a stim pack.
Okay, cool. What's that healing do?
It's 5 wounds.
That's big. Yeah, he comes up.
Oh, hey, Doc.
Glad you're still with us, buddy.
Yeah. So yeah, well, that's a maneuver and an action. Unless you want to spend strain, not much more you can do. You bring him back from the brink. Nicely done. There's still 2 of these wolves. Chai is down. But they're gonna try and shoot at this one that they've been sort of like struggling with this whole time. Let's see how that goes. Hey, I rolled another triumph. Wow, man, I've rolled like so many of these. That's gonna be enough. So yeah, you just see Tao just like, got you, and he's just like holding his blaster sideways and shooting it into this thing, and Cretan just like whoomp. He's like hitting it with his fists and just like puts his blaster into its head and just executes it. The captain is like hitting it with a sword or something, just like and bashing it, and it's out. Now there's this one last wolf here, or this one last alien here. You know what? Beegax is alone. Beegax is by himself.
I'm by myself. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the easiest target. This is looking dire for them, so it's gonna try and pick the easiest mouthful. It's gonna spend a maneuver and run over to Beegax to try and grab you up in its jaws. 1 success and 2 advantage. So it does with its teeth. That's just 1 success. So that's 7 damage. Chomp. As it bites into your haunch and is trying to pull you into, let's see, 2 advantage? No, I don't have enough for it.
3 damage because my soak is 4, but I mean,
Got
it's
it.
still
Yeah.
significant. I am at 5 HP.
So it's, mechanically, it's not got you ensnared or anything, but it is trying desperately to pull you into the darkness.
Ooh.
And then it is a PC slot.
One of Beegax's previous wounds opens up. He's just like, Criff! And I would like to think that his back was turned because he was so concentrated on killing the one that had Chai. So he turns around, sees this one like there, trying to like grab him and bring him into the shadows, and he just flips around with the disruptor pistol and fires at it.
That's just 2 purple again.
I'll flip.
Flip a light side.
So
Nice.
I have
Yes.
one left. I like having
Yeah.
2 yellows. It's pretty epic. 1 threat and 5 successes.
5 successes.
I love how, dude, 2 yellows. Oh, that's the next level up. I'm putting it into ranged light.
With your base 10 damage, there is no way it can withstand that. So tell us what it looks like.
It's the teeth just scraping against his back where he had some of the repairs done. He's like, ah! Even some of his cyberware is like frayed, right? Through his clothing. And he'll turn around, and without even thinking, he just turns around and fires. And it's just like, blah, blah, blah. It's just like unloading continuously, even though mechanically it's just 1 shot. But it's just firing as fast as he can from the hip. Yeah, bah, 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 bah.
Fan the hammer. Fan the hammer.
Exactly, yeah. If it had one. And this creature didn't expect him to turn around so quick and do it, so it's just the disruptor hits, I think, like maybe its jaw, and it begins to do that, like the disintegration, the sizzle on the lower jaw, and it stops because obviously it's a huge, massive creature, and it just stops about halfway, so there's no jaw, and the damage, like the internal damage, and the damage that's taken from all the other hits is just too much, and this thing just flops onto its side.
The growls and the feet and the shapes begin to fade into the darkness, moving away from you, from this circle of violence that has been enacted. Chai Chai's body lays there. He starts to come to, like, Beegax, are you okay?
Beegax just rushes over to him.
I'm fine, man. You did good. Up until the point where you stopped doing good.
He kind of like gives him a smile.
Yeah, it was working until it didn't.
Yeah. Hey, Doc.
And I look at Tao.
Come here. Take care of your boys. What are you doing?
He rushes over, he like pulls out a bunch of tools, and he just like, in one fluid motion, he stabs you with with some like antibiotics or something. Oh. He's like, gotta keep everyone up, gotta keep all the soldiers healthy. You know what I'm saying?
He just looks at the thing they get stabbed with. What is that?
He has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
He starts to like trip out hard.
Yeah, like, pupils dilate.
You see Creton stomp over. He sort of like stands over Ella and Creed and offers one of his arms down to Elo to help them back up.
Yeah, Elo will stand up, and if he offers the arm that was bitten, Elo is going to immediately go from grabbing that arm to be helped up to looking at the wound sort of mode, and just like making all of these sounds of like, interesting. I see.
He just kind of stands there and like looking off to the side, and Creed stands up.
It's fine. They do this all the time. It's okay. It's protocol. Don't worry about it.
Protocol. Yes.
You catch Versus Eye as she's helping Obram, and she just gives Elo one of those like nods, like acknowledgement nods. Mm-hmm. Doesn't say anything, and everyone seems to sort of like dust themselves off and get it together. Obram is like,
Did you see those things? We've never seen them before. I must take a sample.
He's busy like doing something, writing things down in his book, completely oblivious as to the danger that's happening around them. And Yomant is like,
We should get moving. We don't want to be around here any longer than we have to be.
Yeah, I agreed. Obram, hurry up! And I walk over to where he is and like wait for him. Like I see him writing, and I wait for him to come to like a stop. And the minute I see him stop, like a not even like stop, but like put the period, right, like a dot or any type of punctuation,
I go like, nope, come on, and I just grab him.
Just grab him by the robes.
I just poor Obram. I picture this. It's so funny that he said that because this whole battle where everyone is just getting their ass beat after it's all over. Did you see that?
Yeah, did you guys see that?
Oh, honey.
No, I didn't. I didn't see it as I'm bleeding from my
See
mouth,
what?
my stomach, my back. That's another thing. I think Beegax, as he's grabbing Obram and pulling him to the group, and Obram's like, oh, like Beegax realizes I'm very winded. He thinks to himself, like, oh, Griff. Oh, like, and then he starts to realize as he looks down at his body, I got bit like twice. Big bites.
Big bites, yeah.
And it's just like, oh. And then he feels like his back where there's an open to one of his wounds. He's like, oh no. Like he like touches, he's like, oh, great.
A concerned Chadra fan is sort of like flitting around you. He's like, do you need to lean on me?
No, Chai, I got it. Thanks. It's just an old wound from a month ago or so. Opened up. That's all right. I got a good doctor on staff. And he looks at Elo.
Yeah, Tao's the best of the business. He'll fix us right up.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I got my own physician. We got a medical history and all that's good rapport. So I'm not gonna switch doctors just yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're a loss, I guess.
Yeah, he seems like a great guy. Very professional. And Beegax will start walking closer to Elo and be like, Elo, I think one of the wounds opened up. If you don't mind taking a look at my back. And he moves his hand, and it's probably clear as day. Like, rip.
It's like gushing blood.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This. Why don't you take a seat here, Beegax?
No, we can't. We gotta move.
I think it would be best if you took a seat. And Ella is going to place him down
on top of one of the corpses, on the alien wolf corpses. Boom.
And is going to start tending to this previous wound and your newly inflicted bite.
Yeah.
We can't have that get infected,
Not out here. Not in the jungle.
Roll me that medicine check.
That's sweet medicine.
Barney comes off of your back and begins doing their little surgical assistant bits, stitching up Beegax and making sure to be as gentle with the needle as possible.
Oh, yeah. I've never been happier to see you. He like the needle. He doesn't even care. Beegax like, I don't care. Just make it. Fix it. Just fix it, please.
And so that's just a regular 2 purple.
Are you below half your health?
Yes. I'm
okay. I'm
1 point below half.
That will be 3 purple. That is a hard medicine
3
check.
purple. Okay, we're rolling that. 1 advantage and 1 failure. But you know what? I'm gonna use my natural doctor perk, which means that I can re-roll any 1 medicine check once per session.
I have the same thing for hacking stuff.
Oh, okay, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, re-roll that check.
And how many light side points do we have right now?
1.
I'm gonna take
Hell
it.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I'm rolling 3 yellow. 3 successes, 3 threats. I don't know what your threat would be.
Infection.
Maybe you're gonna get an infection if you don't keep this tidy, Beegax.
I think you know what I think it is. Just mechanically, is I think you probably take a strain from getting the triage.
So how much HP do I get back from this?
Like a success is 1 point of healing, and then whatever your ranks of surgeon are.
So 4.
Hey, 9 is better than 5.
Yeah.
Everyone takes triage, picking everyone back up. The crew is battered, but not broken, and that's what matters in this strange and threatening world. And as Yomance has advised, unless there's anything else, the crews begin to move on into this temple, and eventually you find an open archway through this cavernous place of pillars, and walking into it, you come to the next area of this temple, and it is a T intersection, splitting into 2 different ways, a path to the right and a path to the left.
Beegax looks to Yomance. Well, you're the one who need to come down to these places, so any idea where to go?
I am not sure. We have enough personnel between the two of us. I think we might be able to cover more ground if we split up. I know that is typically not the wisest choice, but time is always a factor, as we don't know how much knowledge the Empire has.
For a politician, you're pretty knowledgeable on dungeon delving. I gotta say, I'm impressed. It's up to you then, Humans, to figure out who you want to go with, because one of these two paths is the wrong path, right?
We don't know if one is right or one is wrong. All we know is they diverge. But I see your point. The most natural thing is for the Horizon boys to go this one way and for your crew to go the other way. We will all have comms, so we can share communications in case there is an emergency.
Beegax looks to Elo.
Well, you've always been pretty lucky, so left or right?
I want to scan. Can I do a scan? I just want to see if it looks as though one path has been taken more than another, if there's any sort of like vines or foliage that may have grown over this one versus that one.
Oh yeah.
Any sort of differences, you know?
Yeah. Roll me a perception check. We'll call it an average difficulty.
1 success, 3 threats.
It's hard to tell because these are so ancient. There's been no recent use, for sure. And it's hard to tell if there's like grooves in the floor. None of that gives away what
Right.
it is. But I think Elo picks up that off to their left, sound seems to be registering differently in that direction.
I think Elo is going to sort of like walk between both of these ways and then go over to Beegax and sort of scrouch down and relay this. Not seemingly privately, but like not advertising it to everyone either. And just is going to say, I'm picking up something on the alley to the left if we wanted to check that out.
All right. We'll go left.
Then we will take the other path. Remember, stay in communication. If anything should happen, we will come to each other's aid.
All right. Sounds good. Is it okay, just to clarify here, Humans? What are you looking for?
I don't know. I think it is a weapon, an ancient one from the Rakata, from the information I have been able to gather. But even that, spotty at best.
Right. Well, if we find any weapon, we'll let you know, and we won't touch it.
Don't touch anything.
Well, I mean, if there's a door, we're gonna have to touch it open, right?
Okay, use extreme caution.
He holds up the droid appendage that he got from earlier.
Hey, this is why I got this.
Chai comes up to you and he's got a little BD unit on his shoulder. Here, you could take BD if you want.
What? Why?
He'll look out for you. He looks out for me. I just want you to be safe.
Chai, thanks, but don't you need him to be safe too?
I think I'll be okay.
All right, if you say so. It'll make you feel better, but hey, droids and me, only Elo's the only droid that mixes well with me. Other droids have been a little shaky.
I know I know BD will have your back.
All right, I'll take him. I'll take him for peace of mind.
He holds his arm out and the little droid crawls along his arm, jumps up and finds a place somewhere on Beegax to firmly plant.
Feels weird.
Yeah, you'll get used to it. Hey, he transmits bios and stuff. Mine and yours.
Okay, good. You can see how unhealthy I've been. I've been eating like like a womp rat the last couple of weeks.
He's like looking at a readout on his wrist. He's like, yeah, your sodium's way off the charts.
Yeah.
But okay, my guy. You got to really cut back. All right. Well, that's a different conversation.
You're like the third person to tell me that.
He grips your arm and he says, stay safe, Beegax.
Yeah, I reach out, shake it. I give him like a half hug too. Like,
Don't worry. You keep those guys safe.
And the two crews split their ways. The crew of the Horizon boys go off. One, you see the captain salute you.
and back.
Yeah, the rest of your crew, you and your crew go down the other way, deeper into the temple. And you travel for what seems a while through the winding halls of this singular directional path until it comes out into another room. And Elo, this is what you must have noticed, is like this room is almost circular, and you see again like pillars everywhere standing. And this must have been why sound plays differently in this direction, that the way that it bounces off of here. You can hear like sound amplified through this almost like amphitheater of this large chamber. And in front of you now in this large room is what looks like about 50 doors.
Maybe we should have gone right.
What a perfect button.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crits, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by leaving us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, or whatever platform you use to listen. It's easy, free, helps others learn about the show, and we love reading your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, or come chat with us in our official Discord. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AE Herrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. LO is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram and TikTok @JamieMFBones. I'm Ian Duncan, your host and GM, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram @IDunks. The music in this episode is provided with license or permission by a variety of talented artists, whose info and credits can be found in the episode notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to hear more of their work, and tell them how much you like their music in our show. The Star Wars role-playing system is published by Fantasy Flight Games, and remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you. Anyone, we've got all the housekeeping covered. Everyone good on that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Sound good. Then let's get dangerous.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.